welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
If you're anything like us, you're always hunting for that, that smarter shortcut, that way to really get a handle on complex ideas fast, cut through all the noise, and find those actual aha moments without just drowning in info.
Right. Information overload is real.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, today, we're doing exactly that. We're plunging into a book that, honestly, delivers on that promise. It's James Clear's phenomenon, Atomic Habits.
Subtitled, An Easy and Proven Way to Build Good Habits and Break Bad Ones.
Exactly. And this isn't just like another bestseller. I mean, millions sold, crazy ratings, sure.
Yeah, the numbers are impressive.
But it feels more like a fundamental reset for how we think about improving ourselves. We tend to beat ourselves up, don't we, when we struggle to change?
Absolutely. We blame willpower, discipline.
Yeah, or just ourselves, basically. But what if the problem isn't actually you?
And that's the hook, isn't it? That's what's so, I think, revolutionary about Clear's approach. Like, he makes this really powerful, almost freeing argument right at the start. If you're struggling with your habits, the problem isn't you, it's your system.
Wow. Okay.
Think of that for a second. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems.
This is about the environment, the routines.
Precisely. The invisible architecture of your day, you could say. That's the real engine for change, not just gritting your teeth and using willpower.
Right.
And this deep dive, well, it's all about exploring the framework he gives us to actually flip that script, to really take things to a new level.
Okay, so we're going to pull out the most important bits, the real nuggets of wisdom from this book.
Yeah, distill it down.
And show how Clear takes these, complex ideas from biology, psychology, neuroscience.
All that heavy stuff.
Yeah, it makes them into simple, practical behaviors you can actually use.
Very applicable.
So get ready for some real strategies, maybe some surprising facts, too, that might just reshape how you think about making progress. Okay, let's unpack this. So the title itself, right, Atomic Habits, and the subtitle, Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results. It definitely hints at small things having a huge impact. But how does Clear actually show that? Illustrate the power of these tiny shifts?
Yeah, it's a great question because it feels a bit counterintuitive at first, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
How can 1% really matter that much?
Exactly. But Clear uses this brilliant analogy. He says, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement.
Compound interest. Okay.
Think about bamboo. For years, you see almost nothing happening above the ground. It's all happening underground, building this massive root system.
It takes forever.
And then, boom, in just a few weeks, it can shoot up almost 100 feet.
Whoa.
The point is, the best outcomes, the most remarkable results, they're often delayed. They're the product of all those little consistent actions building up potential over time.
Like investing. Small amounts regularly add up.
Precisely. And it compounds both ways, right? Good habits build on each other. Bad habits spiral downwards. So those consistent 1% improvements, they accumulate like crazy over time. It's more about patience and consistency than, big dramatic efforts.
That compound interest idea really clicks. But it's definitely not how most of us approach trying to change things.
True.
I know one reviewer, Tom Venuto, he really highlighted this idea of changing behavior at the identity level. If it's not about me failing, but my system, where does Clear say we should even start?
Yeah, and that's maybe the most crucial pivot in his whole philosophy. Most people, when they want to change something, say lose weight or learn an instrument, they focus on the what? The outcome.
Or I want to lose 20 pounds.
Exactly. That's outcome-based thinking.
Yeah.
But Clear lays out this three-layer model, like concentric circles.
Okay.
You've got outcome change on the outside, then process change, and right at the core, there's identity change.
Identity change at the core.
Yes. And he argues, very persuasively, I think, that for the changes to really stick, to be lasting, you need to start there, at the identity level. Focus on who you wish to become.
Huh. So not, I want to lose weight, but maybe I want to be a healthy person.
Exactly. You're building identity-based habits. The change flows from the inside out. First, who do I want to be? Then, what processes does that kind of person follow? And the outcomes. They sort of take care of themselves.
It's like every action is a vote for the type of person you want to become.
That's precisely the language he uses. Each tiny habit casts a vote.
Okay, so if it all starts with identity, with who you want to be, how do we actually do it? How do we build the habits that align with that? This is where it gets practical, right? The toolkit.
Absolutely. This is where the rubber meets the road. He breaks down habit formation into this really simple, elegant 4-step framework.
The 4 laws?
The 4 laws of behavior change, yeah. And they map directly onto what scientists call the habit loop. It's cue, craving, response, and reward.
Cue, craving, response, reward. Okay.
And think of these as levers. When you pull them the right way, good habits become almost automatic, effortless.
And if they're wrong,
Then it feels like swimming upstream. Building even simple habits feels impossible. The whole thing forms this loop, see? The cue triggers a craving, the craving motivates a response, and the response delivers a reward.
and the reward satisfies the craving.
Exactly. And crucially, that reward gets associated back with the cue. Repeat that cycle enough times, and bang, the habit becomes automatic. It's this invisible force just running in the background of our lives.
That's fascinating. Okay, let's break down each of those laws.
Yeah.
This feels like where the real practical advice is. First up, the cue.
Right. The trigger.
If cues kick off the whole process, how do we make sure we're noticing the right ones for the habits we want and, I guess, avoiding the ones that lead us astray?
Well, the tricky thing is, cues are everywhere. But once a habit is really ingrained, the cue itself often becomes kind of invisible. We just react automatically.
Yeah, like checking your phone without thinking.
Exactly. So to build awareness, Clear suggests doing a habits scorecard. You literally just list out your daily habits.
Like everything. Brushing teeth, coffee.
Pretty much. Then you score each one. Is this effective for the person I want to be? Ineffective? Or neutral? It's a real eye-opener.
I bet.
For practical strategies to make good cues obvious, he talks about using time and location. Implementation intentions, he calls them.
That's technical.
It's super simple, though, just making a specific plan. After I current habit, I will new habit. Or at time and location, I will new habit.
So like after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute.
Perfect. Or habit stacking, which is pairing a new habit immediately with an existing one. Like after I take off my work shoes, I will put on my running shoes.
Piggybacking on something you already do.
Exactly. And for breaking bad habits, the first law says, make the cue invisible. It's often simpler than fighting temptation.
Avoidance rather than resistance.
Yeah.
As Clara puts it, it is easier to avoid temptation than resist it. So, redesign your environment. Make the good cues obvious, make the bad cues hidden. That's fundamental.
Makes total sense. Okay, so we've made the cue obvious. Next is craving. Our brains love rewards, right? How does Atomic Habits use that wiring to make good habits seem more appealing?
Yeah, this taps right into dopamine. You know those behaviors that get us hooked? Scrolling social media, sugary snacks. They trigger dopamine release. But here's the interesting thing. It's often the anticipation of the reward, not just getting it, that really drives the craving and the action.
The wanting, not just the having.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Clear suggests strategies like temptation bundling.
Yeah.
This is where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do.
I like the podcast example earlier.
Right. I only get to watch my favorite Netflix show while I'm on the treadmill, or I only listen to this awesome deep dive while doing the dishes.
I like that one.
It bundles the want with the need. He also points out how social we are. We want to fit in. Sure, peer pressure, but maybe used for good.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Joining a culture where your desired behavior is the norm, where it's praised and common, that can be incredibly powerful. You naturally start to crave fitting in with that group.
Find your tribe, basically.
Exactly. And to make bad habits unattractive, you flip it. You focus on the benefits of avoiding the bad habit. You reframe it, associate it with negative feelings or outcomes. Make it seem like a burden, not a treat.
I love that temptation bundling. So clever. Okay, Law 3, make it easy. The response stage. We all default to the path of least resistance, right?
Oh, we're wired for efficiency.
So how does Clear use that tendency to help us actually do the good habits and maybe beat procrastination?
This is all about reducing friction. The key concept here is automaticity.
Automaticity.
Yeah, performing a behavior without really thinking about it, like driving a familiar route or, tying your shoes. Your non-conscious mind takes over.
You want habits to get to that stage.
That's the goal. And Clear emphasizes that it's the frequency of performing the habit, the number of repetitions, that builds automaticity, not just how long you've been doing it.
Practice makes perfect or automatic.
Pretty much. And because we're motivated by what's easy, friction is the absolute enemy of taking action.
Right.
So you have to make the desired response as easy as possible.
And that's where the 2-minute rule comes in.
Bingo. It's almost deceptively simple. Whatever new habit you want to start, scale it down so the very first step takes less than 2 minutes.
So read every day becomes read one page.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Or do yoga becomes roll out my yoga mat. It sounds tiny, but it makes starting effortless. It creates what he calls a gateway habit. You just focus on starting.
And often, once you start, you keep going.
Very often. And for bad habits, the inverse. Make them difficult. Increase the friction.
Like hiding the cookies in the top shelf.
Yes, or deleting distracting apps from your phone or setting up website blockers. Also making good choices in advance, like asking the waiter to box up half your meal before it even gets to the table.
Oh, that's smart. Pre-commitment.
Right. Or using one-time actions that automate good habits, like setting up automatic savings transfers or buying a good water filter so healthy water is just there. Make easy the default.
That 2-minute rule really stuck with me. It feels almost too easy, but you try it, and suddenly reading one page turns into 10.
It lowers that activation energy. It's brilliant.
Okay, which brings us to the final law. Make it satisfying. The reward. We all want that immediate gratification, right?
Our brains are definitely wired for it. The present moment bias.
So how do we make habits stick when the real rewards, like getting fit or finishing a big project, are often way off in the future?
Yeah, that's the core challenge. Delayed gratification is hard. So Clear says you need to find a way to add a little bit of immediate pleasure or satisfaction to the good habits.
Give yourself a little win right away.
Exactly. Habit tracking is a great example. Simply putting an X on a calendar each day, you do your habit.
Like a visual progress report.
Right. It feels good. It shows you're making progress, even if the big outcome is far off. It provides immediate evidence you're sticking to it. And this ties into a really crucial point he makes.
Which is,
Don't break the chain. If you miss one day, get back on track immediately.
yeah, the never miss twice rule.
Exactly. He says, the first mistake is never the one that ruins you. It is the spiral of repeated mistakes that follows. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. Successful people aren't perfect. They just rebound quickly.
That's really encouraging, actually. Takes the pressure off being perfect.
Totally. And to make bad habits unsatisfying, you need to add an immediate cost. Make them painful somehow.
Like an accountability partner.
That's a classic example. Or a habit contract. You literally write down your commitment and the consequences. If you fail, maybe you have to pay a friend money or do something unpleasant. It makes the cost of slipping up immediate and real.
Formalizing the pain. Okay, so those are the 4 laws. Beyond that core framework, does Clear offer any, advanced tips for really optimizing habits? And how have people actually used this stuff?
Yeah, he does. He talks about the Goldilocks rule.
Like the porridge.
Kind of. It's about finding tasks that are just right for your current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy. That's where peak motivation happens, when you're challenged, but not overwhelmed. Right on the edge of your comfort zone.
Keep pushing the boundary slightly.
Exactly. And for long-term mastery, he stresses the importance of regular review and reflection. You can't just set and forget. You need to tweak, adjust, layer improvements over time.
Continuous improvement.
And it's really cool to see how people apply this. That reviewer you mentioned, Hippermuckle.
Yeah.
He shared his specific strategies after using the system for 100 days. He'd commit to just one new habit per month, give it a solid month time frame, and really spend time up front thinking about the benefits of that habit.
Focusing on the why.
Right. And using these simple rules, he successfully built habits like daily journaling, doing handstands, even taking cold showers.
Wow, cold showers. That takes commitment.
It really shows how these systematic approaches, focusing on the process, lead to real sustainable change. It's not just theory, it works.
So, wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway here? What does Atomic Habits ultimately tell us?
I think the core message is incredibly clear. Pardon the pun.
Huh.
Remarkable results don't come from giant leaps or forcing yourself through sheer willpower. That's not sustainable.
Right.
It's about focusing relentlessly on your systems, making those tiny, almost insignificant atomic changes consistently.
And designing your environment, your processes.
Exactly. Making the good habits the easy, obvious, attractive, and satisfying path. And making the bad habits invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. It's about engineering your behavior.
Less about motivation, more about architecture.
That's a great way to put it. And that's why the book feels so practical. It gives you this actionable toolkit grounded in science, psychology, neuroscience, but without getting lost in the weeds.
Yeah, it's very readable,
Yeah.
conversational.
Totally. Lots of stories, clear examples. It just lays out this roadmap for lasting change, whether you're just trying to improve your own life or even thinking about, habits within an organization.
So, If you're listening and looking to genuinely improve things, understand yourself better, apply these ideas, this deep dive really shows why this book gets recommended so often.
Mm-hmm. People call it life-changing for a reason.
It really can be.
So maybe as you reflect on all this, here's a question to consider. What's just one tiny habit, one atomic change you could start building or maybe breaking starting today?
Not just for some outcome down the road.
Right. But as a way to consciously cast a vote to align with the person you truly aspire to become?